Hello all, this is Modest again, getting ready to use my first application of the Alclad type lacquer paints and primers. To start off, I have here the Alclad black primer and micro filler, basically ALC 309. And this ALC 309, I believe, is going to be used for my non-shine type metallizers. The metallizers I'm going to be using for today's project is your steel ALC 112 and your jet exhaust ALC 113. So if all goes well, I'm going to be metallizing the back end, the exhaust port of my X47B, and hopefully we'll get good results from the first time use of the Alclads. Okay, talk to you soon. So this is the Alclad II black primer and microfiller ALC 309 that I'll be using for that part. Basically, it tells you to shake thoroughly before use. Don't shake it too hard. It is a plastic bottle that has like these metal beads that are inside there. I'm assuming it's metal beads. Spray it about 15-20 psi. Ensure that your surface that you're going to be priming, that it's clean. I clean my part with dishwater soap. Let it dry, let it air dry, and then remove any residues that are on there. And make sure that you don't have any fingerprints that are on there, etc., etc., etc. I've seen on YouTube people saying that they use another primer before using this one. I did not do that. I'm going to spray this directly on from my old Badger airbrush. I've had that airbrush for several years. I'll be using that on there. Just a couple of milliliters, probably about 3 milliliters is all I need to get myself an even coat. So we're going to use this, see how it comes out, and I'll talk to you soon. Alright, so step 1 of the Alclad II lacquers, using that primer, that black primer, the one with the microfiller. Came out very nice. As many YouTubes have said, just 1 or 2 coats, and it does a great job. This is the back side, basically the underside. It's going to be inside that X47B, but everything else came out really nice. And I have no complaints. The next step I'm going to do is apply a steel coat and then a jet exhaust coat at the very end, more or less towards the base, towards the inside portion of the X47B exhaust port. So far so good. Going to step 2 and alright, so back outside, getting ready to apply the second paint job, the steel. Just in case you're wondering, the vapors from the Alclads, like they say, it's a lacquer paint. So either get yourself a spray booth or some sort of outside environment. I'm doing it outside. That's where I normally use my paints, but I'm probably going to be buying myself a spray area, spray booth. Just in case of pipettes, you're wondering where I get the pipettes. Well, the pipettes, they come from Amazon. 3 milliliter pipettes. There are 300 of them in this bag in itself. So that should hold me for about several years, I'm hoping. But the next step, we're going to go ahead and apply that steel base. Use lacquer thinners. I would actually probably just do a cleaning of the lacquer thinners of your airbrush and your little cup, your paint cup, to make sure that you get everything out, that primer especially out, and any of the other lacquers out. And hopefully you'll see some very good results. Wow. All I can say is wow. That Alclad steel looks really sharp. Very nice color. 1, 2 coats at the most. I literally put in maybe about not even 2 milliliters from that pipette to get that color. Okay. Alclad, you're looking sharp. I'm very happy with the results I'm getting. I'm going to let this steel boy, it weighs a lot, this steel exhaust port just settle down. Let the paint dry permanently. No sealant, not yet. I do have sealants for these guys. Probably using those guys a little bit later, but look at that. That is a nice dull colored sheen on that new metal part. It's looking pretty rad. Okay. Next step, probably another couple of hours, is going to be the jet exhaust. Now I'm planning on putting on just the interior portion. Get that darkened up on the inside. It's going to be a bit of a hairy job spraying it inside and feathering it out to the rest of the steel exhaust port. Okay, but look at that. Hopefully you're getting this because it looks just fantastic to me. That primer is doing a great job. The lacquer paint's doing a great job, but again, please make sure you either wear a mask if you're doing it inside. If you have a spray booth, get that. Make sure you remove any dust. I had like small little pieces of dust as the primer was just drying. Easily blown away with the airbrush. No big deal. But it's coming out really nice. The big guess is when I come by and I use the masking that I'll do on the very light lip, that little arch that you see there. It extends around to the sides there. Doesn't go down that middle, but it goes around that side. I'm going to be masking that part off so that way I could get a nice silver coat on there. Talk to you soon, but looking good. Okay, so finish step 3, the jet exhaust of the Alclad II paints. It's kind of hard to see here, but if I bring this down, you can actually see a little bit of a jet exhaust at the interior base of the steel exhaust port. And it looks really good. It's kind of hard to see. The sun kind of got beaten away a little bit by incoming clouds. Humidity might be going up, but I'll try to show it to you under the lights. Okay, well, this is the Alclad second paint job, actually third paint job if you include the primer. The jet exhaust. Jet exhaust has a little bit of shinier sheen than the steel. Steel's like in the aft portion. The jet exhaust is a little bit inside. It's kind of hard to see because it's all basically black. But I believe, for being the first time use of the Alclad, that it came out very, very well. I'm very pleased, Alclad. like your product says. It's a great metallizer, no buffing. Use the correct primers, set the correct PSI. You're going to get a really nice looking product. I'm very happy so far. We're going to mask it, but before we do that, we might give it a quick coat just to secure it. I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot, but there on that little arch that you see more or less in the middle of that exhaust port, and a little bit back in of the airframe itself, give it a little bit of a aluminized color. I think this thing will look really cool beans. Okay, and Alclad, I'm very happy. Cleanup is really easy using lacquer thinner, lacquer thinner, lacquer thinner. Don't thin the product. The product does not need to be thin at all. Don't thin it. And it sprays really well. 1-2 coats, 1 time, 2 times, brushed on, not brushed on, airbrushed on, and it comes out very cool. Thank you again, Alclad. I think this will look great.